Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, when you're out cruising, it can be some of the greatest times I've had in my life, in your lifetime. It's an amazing trip. You have a lot of times, visit amazing ports. However, there are some ports that you have to be mindful of what's going on in that area, especially for crime and your safety. So I want to talk about the 5 currently most dangerous cruise port destinations in the Caribbean. Today's video is brought to you by private internet access. One of my biggest fears when I travel anywhere in the world is I suddenly go to use my credit cards or check into my bank account and I've been hacked. Had my credit card's compromised, it's made its max, and I'm in the middle of a foreign country someplace with no access to money. Well, that's one of the reasons I have a VPN. A VPN hides your IP address, hides your personal information. It makes you look like you're in a completely different country, and it helps protect your vital information like your money, your bank accounts, your personal information from ID thieves. There's a long list of reasons to have a VPN. And why did I choose private internet access, you may ask? Well, for one thing, they have a no-log policy. That means they're storing none of my information out there. They're not saving my information that can be hacked, and that's been proven in court by a third-party audit. Not only that, I can cover not just one device, not just 2 devices, but unlimited devices on the same plan, which means my cell phone, my computer, my iPad, everything can be protected under the same plan. So if you'd like to protect your banking information, your personal information, and have peace of mind when you travel like I do, why not follow my link down below and get up to 83% off your subscription, as well as 4 months free. For as little as $2.03 a month, you can have peace of mind when traveling like I do. Thank you again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. First, number 5, we're starting off with the lowest rating as far as safety warnings from the Department of Travel for United States. Well, they have Belize down as a level 2, which means you have to have increased caution. So it's not a full-blown real danger right now, but you have to exercise some caution more than normal going to some other cruise destinations. Now, Belize has some of the best snorkeling in the area. It has beautiful tropical forests, lovely beaches, but it also has a very high level of unemployment. And most recently, the crime area has begun on the rise. Now, places like Norwegian Cruise Line has Harvest Key, or Harvest K, depending on how you would like to pronounce it. They have that private island area, and it's very safe on those areas. However, when you have excursions or when you decide to wander off on your own when you're in places like Belize City, well, that can be a big difference. They really recommend not wandering away from main tour groups, not wandering off on your own, due to an increase in high crime rate, including armed robbery, and in some cases, some kidnapping and beatings. So yeah, exercise extreme caution when you're in Belize. It's not happening in abundance, but it is happening currently. Next on the list is number 4, the Bahamas, which can cover a wide variety of areas. I mean, Perfect Day at Coco Cay is on a Bahamas island. Princess has their private island in the Bahamas. Those areas tend to be very, very safe. Do not worry about them. Those are private, secured locations. However, we have other places in the Bahamas like Nassau, the main city, and it is a beautiful place to visit. They have Atlantis there, water parks there. They have some beautiful entertainment venues there and restaurants. You can also still get away and find private beaches along the way as well. So there's a lot of good things to see in Nassau and in the Bahamas. However, they are now a level 2 rating as well for extreme caution because of an increase in crime, especially murders. Most recently, a couple months ago, they had 18 murders, including broad daylight shootings in the capital. And that's something that nobody wants to see. We have to keep an eye on that. We also had a story, if you remember, just a few months ago about 2 ladies who were off on their own. They didn't book an excursion, but they still went to a popular tourist destination and apparently were drugged and molested by workers who were working at that establishment. And it was a very popular tourist attraction. They were from a Carnival cruise ship. They didn't book it through Carnival. They didn't go with anybody else, and they ended up getting into a situation. So again, it's not everywhere. Level 2, extreme caution. And again, I recommend in these cities and these areas where you're going to stick with tourist destinations and tourist locations and do not wander off on your own, especially in our next area. Honduras or Roatan. This is another place that figures very prominently, very safe, right? Everyone thinks Roatan is a very nice area, beautiful, lush area again, but there has been a huge rise recently to the fact that they're a level 3, which means reconsider your travel. Now, when the State Department says reconsider your travel, that should be a red flag to everybody to keep an eye on this area. Again, it's a beautiful area, right? Roatan. However, it does have a high poverty rate, which means people, are poor, and some people get desperate and they tend to head into the crime. And some of the crimes that are on the rise right now, which is really scary, is kidnapping. And so they're not even looking for rich people, if you will, or prominent figures. Sometimes they'll just take anybody, because if they can get $1,000 from somebody, that's more money than they may see in a year in some cases. And of course, with the kidnapping and crime comes gang-related activity, and so we always have to be aware of that situation at all. If you're around that area, well, it's best to stay in the enclosed port area, the enclosed cruise port area, or stick to those shore excursions where you're in a bus and you're heading with a group to a specific location that's monitored by the tourist industry and the cruise lines and the police, etc. And if you just want to get off and wander on your own, I would stick to that shopping and the areas at the cruise port that's all enclosed and under security, because we don't want anything to happen to you there as well. Next, number 4, we have Jamaica, which is still at a level 3 area for security, which means, whether or not you should travel, maybe reconsider travel there. I've been there recently, and I will tell you that there are some areas that I would not walk alone in Jamaica. And I'm usually pretty self-sufficient and independent. However, there are beautiful places to go in Jamaica, right? There are beautiful sunsets and beaches and places that everyone feels is just gorgeous. And it's still one of those places that you can get off and wander and find a beach that's completely private and excluded. And who doesn't have that dream of waking up in the morning with the sunrise and walking out on a beach all by yourself and nobody around? And it's probably the worst possible thing you could do when you're visiting Jamaica, to be alone somewhere on a beach, because that's when some bad things can happen, including high rate of crime, high rate of murders, high rate of violent crimes, high rate of kidnapping, high rate of molestation, etc. That's a long list of problems that go on there. And again, it's best if you stick to shore excursions, like going river rafting or going ATVing. They will bring you to specific areas. It's usually enclosed, it's usually safe, you're usually with a group, and less things can happen than if you just decide to head off and start wandering around Montego Bay or Kingston all by yourself. That can lead to some problems, and you don't want that to happen. I even had that experience myself when I was in a hotel area, where I felt that the females in our group were getting way too much attention from the actual staff that worked there. And I'm not used to that on cruises. I'm used to the staff being very formal and very, above board, and don't get a hint of creepiness. But at the resort, and this was a 4 or 5-star resort, I had that creepiness. I had that feeling, and I would not let any of the female companions any time off by themselves, because I did not know what might happen. So yeah, exercise extreme caution, even in a beautiful, beautiful location like Jamaica, and never, never wander off to that secluded beach on your own. Next, I have number one, the number one worst cruise destination right now, also has a private island on it, and currently that is Haiti. Haiti has been raised to a level 4 do not travel warning. Now, in case you're also wondering, what does that mean? What does the State Department, when it issues a do not travel warning, did you know that your insurance can deny you a claim if you go to a country that says do not travel? So be aware of that situation. They haven't stopped people from claiming in reconsider travel, but if they say do not travel, they can easily just decline any claim that you have. But let's talk about what's happening in Haiti right now. There's a huge amount of civil unrest. There was a huge prison break not long ago where every prisoner was escaped. There was shootings in the streets, fires. There has been public unrest and the government attempt at overthrowing the government. The National Guard was called in. So much so that even Royal Caribbean has closed down their private island area in Labadee, which is an enclosed area, a secure area, but it's still not an island. It's right close in Haiti, too close to the danger zone, and to this day it is still not reopened, even though it's an enclosed area with security. So yes, right now, currently, Haiti is a place not to go, and they say that kidnapping in that area alone has more than quadrupled in the last 3 months. Quadrupled. So I would definitely think that Haiti is probably off your cruise list anytime in the near future until things settle down. I would highly doubt that, other than maybe Labadee opening up, any other cruise destination is probably not going to happen for at least the remainder of this year. So that's it. That's the 5 most dangerous cruise ports. Now, how do you get around in these cruise ports if you're there? First of all, stick to groups. Stick to shore excursions with the cruise ports. Stick to the cruise port area. Never wander off on your own. If you are wandering around on your own, even in near the cruise port or anything like that, don't flash money from your wallet. Don't wear expensive watches, expensive jewelry. Don't try and look like a tourist, shall we say. And definitely watch when you're in bars. Watch when you're in restaurants. If you're wandering around and you're not in a main bar near the cruise port or something, you never know what can happen in those places as well. And even in popular destinations, unfortunately, things can happen that can absolutely be a horrific experience. And I want to keep everybody out there safe. I'm not saying don't go there. I'm saying be careful when you do, and just be aware of your situation, know what you're doing, and you can definitely still have an amazing cruise trip. Let me know what you guys think. Have you been to any of these cruise ports? Have you experienced any, ooh, that seemed a little iffy, that seemed a little scary at that time? Leave a comment down below, and until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation, especially the safe part.